Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back to my lovely channel. My name is Victoria Champagne. For those of you that are new here, I make videos off of roller skating, travel, and fashion. Today, I will be talking about my final trip that I came back from. If you haven't seen my videos, I went to 3 countries, basically the full month of September. I went to Paris, Barcelona, and Morocco. I already made videos for Paris and Barcelona, so if you want to check those out afterwards, you definitely can, and you must. You should. Today, I will be talking about Morocco. I went to North Africa, guys. So I'm going to be talking about why I went there, how long I stayed there, what I did, what I learned, everything, because there's so much. I have so many photos and videos from just this trip alone, and I think that's why it took me the longest. I was just so overwhelmed, but let's get started with it. So I decided to go to Morocco thanks to my lovely friend Fatima. Fatima has family in Morocco. She actually kind of grew up in Morocco a little bit in Casablanca. And every so often she will come to Morocco and decided, let's invite a few people. I overheard her talking about Morocco, so I definitely want to chime in. There was about 13 of us who came on this trip. Yes, that's a lot of people, but that's okay. So she had about 13 people. She found places for us to stay and had all these amazing ideas planned for us for Morocco. And of course, I said yes to it. We stayed September 20th through the 27th. So after Skate Live Barcelona, we decided to take the trip there. We stayed, oh my goodness. We stayed in this beautiful Riad Tizwa. I feel like that's not how you pronounce it. But Fatima has friends who I believe owned the Riad, and she asked for this great deal, and it happened to work out. It is a beautiful three-story like private hotel. I can't even call it a hotel because it's more than that. And each level was different. You had the first floor that had 2 different rooms. The second floor had 3 different rooms. And the last level, which is where I stayed, there was just 1 room. But on the top floor, you had places to like sit as a group and like just be hidden. You had another little area where you can just be out by the sun. There were like 3 little seats where you can sit and like really get like a nice good tan. But it was such an amazing Riad, and I really want to give thanks to Fatima for putting it all together and the owners. I took so many photos. You're going to see plenty of them here. Every level was the epitome of Morocco, and I tried my hardest to get every picture for every single floor wearing a different outfit. I did the best that I could do. So we stayed there from September 20th through the 22nd in Marrakech, and then the 23rd through the 25th, we went to the Sahara, and then on the 26th, we went to Isueria. Not sure if I'm saying that correctly. So when we first arrived on the 20th in Marrakech, I was definitely blown away. It's completely different out there. Of course, we stayed at this lovely Riad as we placed our things down. Fatima gave us just a tour of the town. So we walked as a group, saw the town, and it kind of gave me vibes of Venice Beach. I don't know if you've ever been to Venice Beach, but basically LA or a downtown LA or Hollywood, where, if you will, I would probably say like Hollywood, where you have people in costumes, you have people who have animals to pet, things to do so people can, you know, hustle and get their money. That's basically the area we were at. They had people with monkeys. They had people with cobras. I'm not kidding. There were people who, they were snake charmers. They would play their music, take off this little like pillar or something, and then out would come the snake. I was like, let me walk in the opposite direction and calmly, because you not about to hit me with this cobra. No, ma'am. No, sir. No, ma'am. We're not doing that. You take a further walk and there are shops for like juice stands. Had the best orange juice. I know I talked about this in Barcelona where they had amazing orange juice, but Morocco, completely different. I feel has the best orange juice because I feel it's mixed with mango in there. Some type of mango crack. I don't know, but the orange juice is fly. So they had that. They also had restaurants around. And if you walk further into the alleyways, you can do shopping for like shoes, hats, merchandise, accessories galore. So we did a little tour. When we came back, I got to have a second spa day. Now, if you haven't seen my video, in my Barcelona video, I talk about how I had my very first massage ever. And now in Morocco, I had my second. We went to this hammam spa, and again, great price. I think I paid 75 dirham. I think that's what I paid for what felt like about an hour. So they take you in, they actually scrub you down. They shower you first, then they scrub you down just to get like all that dead skin off, shower you again. You get to like sit for a little bit. They come back, just shower you again. And then after they dry you off, then the massage happens. A full body massage with the feet, the body, like everything. I was ready. I was ready for Morocco after that. And then I had couscous for the first time. Now, I've actually had couscous before when I used to work at this restaurant called Mendocino Farms, and all of their plates, like they have like this cool little dome size cover. So we had our couscous, tagines, came back, and I missed this the first night, but what Fatima decided to do every day on our trip was to do story time. And she had this book full of Moroccan stories. Now, these stories are stories that were taught way back in the day from elders who would tell different Moroccan stories. And I was blessed that she brought that along, because every night we had story time. So right before bed, you cozy up on the last floor and you just like cozy up to each other in the warmth and hear a lovely bedtime story. I love that. Every morning we had breakfast. Breakfast in Morocco is very different from your traditional LA breakfast. For breakfast here in LA, you mostly have eggs, bacon, potatoes. Morocco does no type of pork. And they don't really do eggs. So our breakfast every day was tea. We would always, that's what I forgot to mention. When we came to the Riad, we were welcomed with Moroccan tea, Moroccan mint tea. And they would do like a long pour, and they have like cubes of sugar. So getting back to this, for breakfast, we would have Moroccan mint tea, if you wanted that, fresh orange juice, bread, fresh bread, granola, yogurt, fruit and these little, and they look like crepes because they were like a flat, like doughy. So I think they were crepes. And then you had little like tagines, and when you would take, not tagines, little square covers for the plates, and when you lift it, it'd be something new. So there was honey that you can put on the crepes. There was, what's the word I'm looking for? There was butter, and there was also like a jam, and they would have that. Am I missing anything? I hope not, but I think that was what covered the breakfast table. So every morning, everyone would walk up to the top floor. I was already there with my girl Alicia. We would all sit at this table and just have breakfast together, and I loved it. And then we would go out and do whatever it was we were doing. So I think the first few days that we were there, Fatima took us on this tour. We did so much walking, like over 9,000 steps. About, I want to say about 13,000 steps is what I did that day. I may have to look that up. But we took this extravagant tour, just the town of Marrakech. I saw beautiful Moroccan doors, and I've always known that whenever I purchase my own home, I want Moroccan doors, Moroccan lights. Just, it's beautiful. So I'll be showing you millions of Moroccan doors. We took tours of just passing other riads, other hotels, other museums that had like those beautiful church windows, botanical gardens. I have so many photos. I love the group that we had. Like everyone, of course, took photos, but we also had two amazing photographers who took outstanding photos of us, whether it was on their cameras or on their phone. Jonathan had this amazing Samsung that captured the best photos of all of us. And I'm glad to say I got my money's worth. So I brought the right clothing every time, because both Jonathan and Beto took amazing photos of all of us. And I always tried getting like sneak attack photos of everyone. So I think for like the few days like we did that, we also, oh my goodness, we did this museum, the Jardin Majorelle, as well as the Jardin Majorelle, as well as the Yves Saint Laurent mansion. So the Jardin Majorelle was founded by Jacques Majorelle, and it's this beautiful botanical garden, and the building is just blue. It's this beautiful color blue, and it's this botanical garden. And next to it is the YSL Museum. So first the botanical garden, where, I wore the best outfit. I showed up in my bright orange Moroccan outfit, and I came to slay. It was perfect. We took photos upon photos upon photos while we were there. After the botanical garden, yes, we went to the Yves Saint Laurent Museum, where it was just a museum of his collected work. Pieces like his costumes, his designs, books of his work. And there was also a little area where you can sit and watch his best fashion shows. Beautiful. I think we spent maybe about an hour or two in there. And of course, in museum, you can buy a lot of his collected work, his books that had all the fabulous ideas. I would definitely say if you go to Morocco, definitely Marrakech, you need to purchase tickets for that museum, because it's out of this world. And if you're a content creator on Instagram, YouTube, you're going to get your content there. guaranteed. So that was what we did the 20th through the 22nd of Morocco. Did a lot of sightseeing in Marrakech. I didn't really do much shopping, and we ate the traditional couscous and tagines. The 23rd, we left the Riad because we were finally going to the Sahara Desert, where we would ride camels and the surprise, the ATVs. So we left on the 23rd, and we did not realize how long of a drive it would take to get to the Sahara Desert. It took us 2 days because we did a lot of stopping to shop, to see beautiful places in Morocco. For example, we went to a Casbah. Did not know what a Casbah was, and yes, if you ever heard the song, Rock the Casbah, Rock the Casbah, da 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 da. Yes, I want to blame Jimmy Buckwild for that, because the minute he realized what a Casbah was, he looked up the song, sent it to us, and it was stuck in my head for the remainder of the trip. So we actually ate in a Casbah, which is kind of like a castle, and it's like a restaurant. You can eat there. You can also stay the night in a Casbah, which is what we did the night before we arrived to the Sahara Desert. We stayed in a Casbah. We took a tour around the Casbah, took multiple photos of just the view, and we stayed the night at this Casbah called Riad Tizwa. I'm saying that completely wrong, I know it. The food wasn't the best there. I feel like they tried to give their American version of food, and it wasn't the best. Out of the Moroccan food that I've had, that was not the best, but hey, still had an amazing stay there. And then by September 24th, we were finally on our way to the Sahara Desert. We did make a few more stops. We actually stopped by this place and figured out how, how they make argan oil. So women use, like, there's a nut. You use a rock to crush it so you can get the actual nut because it's covered in a hard shell. Then from that, once you get the nut, what do they do? I think they press just to get all the oil from it. And that's how you get argan oil. Yo! All this time I had no idea. And I was sitting there and trying to figure out, okay, I'm gonna try to figure out how to do this. Yo. Amazing. Just when you just never know, like, how things are made until you finally do it. And that was definitely a blessing in disguise. Not only did we do that, we went to this location where they had rugs. Now, I don't know if rugs are for everyone, but I've always known I wanted a rug, and I knew when I was coming to Morocco, I wanted a Moroccan rug. And we went into this one spot where they had rugs upon rugs upon rugs. And I saw one of my favorite ones, but I could not afford the price, and it was a big rug. But hey, I left with this cute small rug, which I do have. It's actually on the floor. I'm gonna go ahead and show that to you right now. So this is my beautiful Moroccan rug that I had to take home. It's a beautiful, lovely size, and to be honest, I don't even know how I fit this in my small suitcase, but I did, and it was one of the best things I took home. Yes, so I'm so happy about that rug. So many of us bought rugs. What happens is when you go inside, they show you rugs, and whoever the first person who bought a rug, they clap. Everyone claps and say, hey, someone just bought a rug. And I feel that entices you to want to buy a rug. And I feel that's what happened. Because at first I was like, I'm not going to leave here with a rug, even though I did say I wanted a rug. And I left here with a rug because some of the prices that were out there. And I was like, I don't know if I want to pay that much for a rug. But you know what? I love the price of mine. My rug was $175. Yeah. The rugs out there are not cheap. They try to raise the bar of the prices for their rugs, but sometimes you just gotta bargain with them. And mine tried to go up a little bit higher, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna stay right here. This is what you're gonna get. That's it. If not, hey, I'll just walk out and I just won't have a rug. So he sold it to me for that price. I absolutely love it. And we were finally headed to the Sahara Desert. So when we got there, we had to take like 2 separate cars, and the drivers, oh my gosh, I think I have footage of it, but the driver trying to get through those dunes, the hills and the dunes, just to get to where we were staying. Yo, it was a ride for sure. Like, it's so much fun. We finally arrived, and of course we ate. We had, oh my gosh, the salad that we had. Yo, that salad, I ate that entire thing up thinking that was our meal, and then realizing, no, our meal is this like meat that was inside this type of like bread. And I was trying to figure out, we were all trying to figure out, what kind of meat is it? I honestly think we ate camel meat, yo. Because that texture, I didn't recognize that texture. So I think I had camel meat. Yeah, anyways. This place that we stayed at, well, actually we ate, had a pool. So of course, like, we were dipping in the water, although it was cold. If some didn't want to get in the water, they were skating around. And then we noticed this huge hill, this big old dune. And we decided, let's run up to the top, guys. So I have footage of us like running up to the top, taking photos, and just basking in the fact that we're in the Sahara Desert. We happened to see 2 yurts, and we were trying to figure out which yurt we were going to stay in. Never stayed in a yurt before, but hey, loved it. Mostly like glamping. I felt like it was more glamping than like a yurt. Anywho, we had the lovely like Estrogen Michelle, who was the owner of Moxie, doing like backflips, going down the sand dunes. It was marvelous to see. After we ate, it was time for a camel ride. Yo, I rode a camel, guys. I rode a camel in Morocco. We all were on camels. I wish we were supposed to have like a 2-hour ride, but it was only 10 minutes. And I was kind of bummed that it was only 10 minutes. I wish it could have been longer, but what they decided was we have to get on the camels. And then I think because of the timing and the fact that we got there a little bit later, the sun was coming down. And so they stopped us, and they wanted us to come up the hill to sit and watch as the sun sets. There were 2 hills. There was one this high and there was one about this low. I barely made it to the one this low. The rest, like, it was just me and my homegirl Alicia who made it on the low hill. The high hill, the rest of them tried. I was like, I can't. I'm out of breath on this one. I can't make it up there. We had a fabulous time watching the sun go down. And then, of course, as we left, it was time for dinner. And at this dinner, again, there were some appetizers that I thought was the full course meal, and we were wrong. And I ate so much of that appetizer that I barely had enough space for our meal. Before the meal, we decided, let's go around the room and talk about what we're thankful for and what we hope to achieve in the future. And everyone had something different to say. I said, we all were thankful that we had this opportunity to be in Morocco and get to know one another. And I said, I'm also grateful that through my surgery, having my fibroids removed, that I was able to enjoy this trip without any complications, as well as I'm grateful to the fact that I haven't given up on my dream for this career of being an entertainer, being a roller skater, trying to do that full time, whether it's doing music videos, shows, commercials, films, all of it. This is something that I love doing, and the fact that I've had the opportunity to do it has been a blessing, but it's also a struggle because being in the industry, it's not a set schedule. And if you've had a job before, you're used to a set schedule. In this industry, you're trying to be creative. You're trying to make sure like you're in everyone's mouth, so that way you can constantly be in this business. And it's a struggle, but I'm very grateful that I haven't given up on it. I have my days, I'm gonna be honest, but I still have pushed through, and it's all thanks to God that I've made it this far and I'm still continuing. So after the dinner, we all sat by the fire as some of the people who worked there were playing music. And then of course, before bed, we did our bedtime story, which I got to read. We stayed in our lovely little glamping yurt. Sure, that's what I'm calling it. Never stayed there, but it was basically like this huge tent. It had 3 beds, which we didn't even need. 3 or 2, something like that. We had our own beds. Each person, it was like 2 to a yurt, I think. And we had enough space. There was a bathroom and a shower, electrical plug-in so you can charge your phone or whatever you wanted to use. It rained a little bit in the morning. So in the morning, we really wanted to do an ATVs before we left because it was our last day in the Sahara and we really wanted to do it. I was up, I woke up, I was ready to do it, but because it had rained, a few people weren't sure if they wanted to do it. But the rain cleared and we did it. We signed our waivers, we got ready for the ATVs. This was the main event for me, the ATVs. Best time ever, something I've never done in my life, and I gotta say, you guys have to do this. If you never get the chance to go to the Sahara Desert, don't care. There's deserts all in California. Find one, do the ATVs, you will love it. We only paid $45 for, I think, an hour and a half, which I think is a pretty good deal because I feel like in California, we probably charge way more than that. Anyways, we had the best time. I think because I was watching people like Michelle, Jonathan, and Leon like kind of like get a little like dangerous, I was like, okay, I'm gonna stand up while I'm riding it. I'm gonna go over this dune. But you kind of want to be careful because if you pump the gas too hard, sometimes like you might like danger yourself going over the dunes. So the trainers or the owners had us try to go in a single file line, which was boring. So a lot of us would be dangerous and like go outside, but it was only because they wanted to protect us because the dunes can be very dangerous. But either way, we were doing some daredevil stuff and I loved every moment of it. That is something I'm never gonna forget ever. After we left the Sahara, we decided to meet Fatima's mother in Morocco. We came to her place and she made couscous. I feel like we've been eating couscous and tagines like this entire trip, except this one time when I actually had steak and mashed potatoes, which mashed potatoes were really delicious because the mashed potatoes were like sweet and savory kind of, but hands down, best meal that had nothing to do with couscous or tagines. So we visited her mother and she had couscous, and I didn't know that most Moroccan people, when they eat couscous, they eat it in the palms of their hand. So what you do is you scoop it up, you like kind of like pat it, and then you just put it in your mouth. I watched Fatima do it a few times and I tried it once and I thought, okay, this is cool. After the dinner with Fatima's mom. We came back to the Riad. Once again, so nice to be there, the Riad. And the next day, which was that the last day? Yes. Yes. So the last day that we had in Morocco, Fatima took us to Essaouira. No idea if I'm saying that right, but it's this beautiful town by the ocean. We did some amazing things over there. We ate some seafood, did a lot of walking and saw, again, more Moroccan doors. I saw like these gorgeous pants that I bought my mother. Sorry about that, guys. My phone just stopped working and the sun decided to change direction, so I moved over here. So as I was saying, in Essaouira, I bought something for myself that I have been wanting for a while, and it's this beautiful Moroccan door that is actually a mirror. I love the colors of this. You want to open it. The doors are a mirror. Say hello. So after our trip in Essaouira, well, we just walked around and I was just in awe because they were homes that were turned into like their business for selling whatever merchandise that they had in their homes. And I thought that was really beautiful. We do have something like that in LA, but not as beautiful. I did forget to mention that before we made the trip to Essaouira, we saw goats in the trees, guys. There were goats in the trees and they were just sitting there. It's an actual thing. And friends were getting out to take photos. And at first I wasn't sure if I wanted to go out and do all that. But once I saw my friends were getting in the trees to take photos with the goats, oh, I had to do that. I had to. So I was up in there. It was definitely an experience. I enjoyed so much of it. And when I came back down, I decided to like hold a cute little baby goat. And I have pictures and videos. It was so cute. So that was before Essaouira, and then after that we came back for our last night in Morocco. We stayed at our Riad and they made us a lovely dinner. There was appetizers that again I thought were the meals, and then the actual meals came out. There was like different types of meat, couscous, tagines. It was so flavorful, so delicious, the best last meal. And then of course it was time to go home the next day. So sad. I do want to say from that trip, I've learned peace. I've learned patience because it's a big group and different personalities. So you really have to find the patience, boo. Beautiful experiences that I hope to never forget, and they will always just stay in my mind. And of course I have photos and videos, and anyone who wants to come to Morocco, I would 100%, you need to come here. Come as a group, stay at the lovely Riad we stayed, definitely see all of Marrakech. You need to go to the Sahara Desert, ride camels, go on ATVs, and of course check out a Casbah. Rock the Casbah. That's got to be done. But yeah, that was the most fabulous trip I've had. I really want to thank Fatima again for inviting us along on this beautiful trip. You definitely need to check out the museums that I mentioned, the Jardin Majorelle and the YSL Museum, if you ever get the chance to come back to Morocco, Marrakech. And again, such a beautiful experience. I hope you guys enjoyed this lovely video of my trip to Morocco. That is all of my trips: Paris, Barcelona, Morocco. I hope you enjoy all of them. I hope they're inspirational. I hope they make you want to travel out of the country, because you only live once, guys. Experience as much as you can, and have a blessed day, everyone. I'll see you again later. Bye.
Cling, 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 cling.